back into your accent.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Talkin Balls. I'm your host, Neil Adams, and joined as always are my lovely co-hosts in Rob and Mark. What about you guys?
Sweet to the beat, mate. Glad I got to say it this week.
Good to be back for another week talking balls. Glad to have actually some football to talk about as well.
You're right, hey. Right, hey. And joining us again, and as we always say, when we like you, we bring you on again. When you're good, we bring you on again. So here we have Patrick Steenberge again. What about you, sir?
All right, great to be here, guys. I'm sitting on a beautiful day in Texas, and about 3 more days, I'm heading to Dublin. So get ready, Ireland.
Well,
Did he pronounce your name right there, Patrick? Because he was listening to the video from last year 3 or 4 times, being like, "How do I say this? How do I say this?"
Just making sure I got your name right. So I got it right that time.
You did pretty well there, yeah.
Yes. So the last time we had you on, we had yourself and Jack Muldoon from Boner and Prendy.
Right.
So how's it been since then?
Yeah, it's been a whole year. They came over and played with us last year and beat the NFL Academy, which they're pretty proud of.
Right. Of course you would be.
Yeah, it gave pretty good idea of the quality of teams we bring over. So.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So this year we have 5 brand new teams because we've got the Junior Irish Wolfhounds again.
I've got 4 American teams, and then the Junior Wolfhounds are going to play the Brits. They're going to play a Great Britain U19 All-Star team. So we'll wrap up the evening with them. But we got 4 high schools from 3 different states here in America. 1 from Texas, 2 from Florida, 1 from New Hampshire. So we got a full day of football.
I know. Basically, awesome. 9 hours of uninterrupted football.
That's right. At the high school level, which is where it's really played with passion. Nobody's getting any NIL money there.
Definitely not. No prima donnas or anything coming over.
They may grow into prima donnas, but at this point, they play as a team, which is the way I remember the game.
Well, that's it. But I mean, you did play quarterback at Notre Dame, didn't you?
Yeah, a long time ago. But it's a good memory.
Definitely. Of course, it would be a good memory. That would be brilliant. Imagine playing for Notre Dame, being able to say you were quarterback for Notre Dame. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's sometimes when I go back, like every year I go back for a home game, and they'll let the former players down on the sideline, pregame and stuff. And I look at these guys and going, did I really do this? They're like different physical specimens now than, what we were 50 years ago. But yeah, and now they're playing on turf, which helps them be fast. And we had that slow grass. Otherwise, I could have been a fast runner.
Yeah, 100%. You could have been like Lamar Jackson.
Is that why I'm so slow when I'm playing? Because we're playing grass?
That's it, Rob.
Are you going to the game on Saturday, Patrick?
We're going to take all the teams with us. That's part of their whole travel experience is to go to the game on Saturday. We'll be there. But for us, it's all building towards Friday is our work day. And for me, that's the fun. Next Friday when our guys are playing out there. And I get to watch because the players are playing, the coaches are coaching, the officials are officiating, the fans are cheering on. That's the really fun time. It's been, 11 months of preparation to get to this point. This week is a little low on sleep. I've got a 9-person staff coming over just to run the high school games. And some amazing guys in that. We're going to do a clinic next Sunday at UCD for 11 to 15-year-olds. And with some of my coaches, and the guys I'm bringing, Dwight Thomas coached Emmitt Smith in high school for all 4 years. Maybe the best, he is the best running back ever in the NFL. He also coached John Story, who's out of Cleveland. He's coming over to help me again and work with the Junior Wolfhounds a little bit. but John coached Desmond Howard, who's the ESPN Game Day star guy, Heisman Trophy winner at Michigan. And he just got a note, he said, from Desmond, said, see you in Dublin, coach. So he'll be over there with us. So those are a couple of the guys that are going to help with the clinic next Sunday. It's a free clinic. We're only allowed for whatever rules. You have lots of rules in Ireland about how many people can gather up together, right? So we're only allowed 100 people, 100 kids and coaches, whatever. But come to UCD at 3:00 a week from Sunday. Or actually, this next Sunday, the 18th, and we'll coach up some football there.
Well, happy days. And when's that there? Was that on a Thursday?
No, Sunday.
Sunday, right?
Yeah, that's on Sunday. Because we all get in, my staff and I all get in Saturday. Our teams come in on Wednesday morning, and they'll practice Wednesday and Thursday and get ready to head over to Energia / Donnybrook Stadium for Friday noon kickoff. And it's like you say, three football games, and it's a real game for these teams. They're getting their regular season started. IMG actually has a game this weekend, this first week coming up, so they'll have their opening game. Whereas the Dallas team they're playing, Episcopal School of Dallas, does not have a game till they get to Ireland. So it'll be fun to see how they all match up.
100%. So we'll work our way through the game. So at 12:00 is game one. It's the Maclay School at Tallahassee against the Windham of New Hampshire.
Yeah, and Maclay is a private school in Tallahassee, which obviously is where Florida State is. So they're all fired up about coming over with the Seminoles and cheering on. There's some of them that have brothers on the team at Florida State. There's a coach, a teacher who's got a player at Florida State. So there'll be a lot of rooting interest there on Saturday. But I know I've got a TV station that's coming over, and they were talking about how they don't have much access to Florida State while they're in there. So they're going to come hang out with us for the week leading up to it, which is awesome. They'll be doing stories about these young guys, So that'll be, and then they're going to play Windham out of New Hampshire. It's the first New Hampshire team we've had. This is the 5th gift event. The Global Ireland Football Tournament started in 2012, and we've had 26 different teams play in it over that period of time. But this is the first one from New Hampshire, and they still run the triple option. So I'm excited to see some old school triple option from the Windham boys.
We get that a lot over here.
Yeah.
That's a very well used tactic over here.
We don't they don't throw on the ball, right?
Yeah, we don't pass the ball. We run
the ball every day.
Yeah. Brian Mullins taught me how they pass the ball. It's like this. It's like,
yeah, and it's always backwards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and that's 100%. The wrong thing in our style of football.
Yeah,
you get on the bench fast if you do that.
Who's the guys to look out for on these teams?
So what's that?
Who are the main people to look out for on these teams?
I don't know the players at all, to tell you the truth. All I see is names. I've got rosters, and all I see is names, but I couldn't tell you one guy from another. Obviously, it all starts with the quarterback. It actually starts with the center. The players, nobody knows who that guy is.
That's me, mate. That's me and Marc. Me and Marc are the centers over here.
You guys are the centers. You're the ones grinding it out. Nobody knows who those guys are. But the play doesn't start until the center moves the ball and gets it to somebody, usually the quarterback. So the quarterbacks will be obviously key players, and then the running back, and then there's always some big, ugly, tough defensive linemen that make some splashes during the game. Those are guys that are fun to watch because they try to destroy the guys on the offense that are trying to make their showcase. But I really don't know the names of the. I've got a roster. I've got those things, but you'll have to come see who they are. We'll know on Friday
100%.
afternoon.
Yeah,
we've got a camper van booked and all.
Yeah,
we're bringing a camper van, Patrick. So we can travel around everywhere.
Good.
Yeah.
Bring whatever you want.
So we can sit and cook our food and all just to the side of you. It's brilliant.
Yeah, you can. There's nice seating. You can be in the shade there, you know. It's not going to rain on Friday. It's already been guaranteed for that. So
Happy days. Well, it always rains here anyway, so we're used to it, no matter if it does or doesn't. Like, you know, we went to the finals there last week, and it just rained for 5 minutes, and then was absolutely really warm for an hour or 5, and then just kept switching on us. So yeah, we're used to it. Don't worry. If it rains, we're still there. Like,
yep,
you know,
we're there. I'd say that the highlight game that people, you know, here are looking towards is the IMG Academy against the Episcopal School of Dallas. First of all, you got probably the two best high school football states, without a doubt, in America. You got Texas versus Florida. So that's where more college players, if you add in California, those would be the top 3 for kids going to college. And there'll be a lot of guys for these two teams, you know, that are hoping to play at the next level in Division I or Division II of football. The IMG team has gotten infamous. Now, they have a team that they call their national team, which are mainly scholar kids that are really all being top, you know, blue chip scouts for the team. This is not that team. This is what they call their varsity. They have 3 teams. So the varsity is their second level, which are kids that they say don't quite have the genes of the national kids overall, but they're really good football players. It's a top level high school team that's coached up really well, you know, and they've got some kids hoping to move up to the national team. But they've got, you know, a great coach, Kyle Bray, who actually his father was the basketball coach at Notre Dame for the last 23 years, just retired a year ago. But Kyle's coming over as their director of football now. And I took that team down to Mexico in April to play against the top high school team in Mexico from Tec de Monterrey. And they had a great time in Mexico with the culture and with the football and everything. So I got to know them pretty well. And then they're going to play this Episcopal School of Dallas, which is in north side of Dallas. I just met with all the parents on Sunday. They had kind of a sending off party for them. And it was fun to answer all the questions, you know, what's going on in Dublin that week and where do we go for dinner? And, you know, is the Guinness really better in Ireland? I went, yes, I refuse. I don't drink it outside of Ireland. You know, that's why I'm looking forward to get there Friday morning. That's my first, I don't even leave the airport and I have to have one because it's been 9 months, you know?
Yeah. Oh, you can't not have a Guinness. You know what I mean? It's the best in the world here. Like,
yeah, it is. So but they're a team that's really building for this game. The coach has been there 10 years. Really sharp guy, knows his football. He's got a lot of his former players that are coaching for him, so some good, sharp young men. And, you know, they know they're in for a battle against a bigger name football team, but he's eager to match up for them. He's been getting some young players come in from some of the other schools in the area that wanted to go to Ireland, and B wanted to test their skills against IMG Academy. So I think that's going to be a real good matchup, kicking off at 3:30, and then the final at 7:00 when we get under the lights there for the true Dublin Friday Night Lights. We'll have the Junior Wolfhounds of Ireland, their U19 team. And they're taking on the Brits. The Great Britain team's going to come across that little street piece of water. And it should be really good. You know, last year, the folks who came and watched them, they played the Community School of Naples out of Florida, played them really well. It was 0-0 halftime, and they lost 14-0, but earned a lot of pride in the way they played their game. So Alan Lamosne is their head coach, does a great job coaching them up, putting that team together. And it's kids from all over Ireland, so they don't get much chance to practice. They just have to kind of get together. They're going to practice next Sunday at UCD also. But it'll be 3 good games of football, lots of different styles of throwing and running and defense. And I understand the college game is sold out. So, and
yes.
So if you want to, and the tickets are a bit pricier than ours. So
just a wee bit, is it?
Yeah, we can get you into ours for just 20 euros for adults and 15 for students. And
that's nothing.
You can watch 9 hours of football if you want.
Yes,
to
commercial free football.
Commercial free. It'd be, there'll be 3 different sets of national anthems and coin tosses and all that kind of stuff. We'll have probably a 20-minute break in between each game, so they can get warmed up on the field. But yeah, it'll be good.
So who's the main team out of this? Is it IGM? Is that like the biggest high school?
Yeah, they're the most well-known, team. They'd be thought of as, the best of the group probably. But the other ones, it's nobody knows them real well. And the McClay has come up with some really good years. In the high schools, you're not out there recruiting players like Florida State is, and they have control over who comes to their school. The high schools, the public ones like Wyndham, they have no control. It's a geographic. If you live in this geographic area, that is your public school, unless you want to go to a private school that, your parents can pay extra money to do that. So the Wyndham school is kind of whoever lives in that area, that's who you get. And the coaches have to kind of coach what comes your way. I think that I'm really fascinated. Their head coach, Jack Byrne, has been to Ireland a number of times, has some good friends over there. He's really looking forward to being back and to bringing his football team, kind of show off his skills while he's there. But it's, and I look back, one of the guys who works for Georgia Tech now, I don't know if you're familiar now, all the colleges have what they call a director of high school relations. He's not really the recruiting coordinator, but he affects, the recruiting, because he's trying to make sure Georgia Tech has great relations with the high schools. Well, the guy who took that job 2 years ago, named Tim McFarland. Tim was a longtime coach in high schools in Georgia, won 3 state championships with Blessed Trinity. The first one was in 2016 when they came and played in Donnybrook, played against St. Peter's Prep from New Jersey, and St. Peter's Prep prevailed in the game. But Tim said, I got a really young team of sophomores. We're going to be okay. And he went back and won the first of 3 straight state championships. And then he moved on to a different school. And then 2 years ago, Coach Key hired him as their director of high school relations. So he's going to be there working with Georgia Tech, but knowing and understanding all what the high school kids are going to, because he did it as a coach. And he's going to be our key speaker at the pep rally. If people were just wandering around the streets of Dublin on Thursday, we're going to have our own pep rally at Marion Square at 4 o'clock at Marion Square on Thursday. And Tim McFarland's going to say a few words, a guy who coached at the gift event and now is at Georgia Tech on their football staff. We'll have all the teams there. All the coaches and captains will say a few words, a couple of my coaches. It'll be a fun kind of hour-long pep rally just for people to get excited about the games.
Brilliant. Like, how much planning actually goes into this? It's like, I can tell that there's a lot. Like,
yeah, you're probably thinking about next year's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm already. I've got half a dozen teams. I've probably got 10 teams that are seriously thinking about it right now.
Fantastic.
Some of them. The toughest part for the high schools is they've got to raise the money. It's not like Florida State and Georgia Tech get paid. All their expenses are covered, but they've got TV revenue that covers all of that. Yeah. Ours are, again, it's the true love of the game at the high school, so the families have to raise the money. They do fundraisers. They do, pizza sales. They do spaghetti dinners. I mean, it's really grassroots kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when they get there, it's such an experience for them to do it. But I've talked to a lot of schools, every year now about it. In fact, the one school that's coming, the Dallas school, it turns out about 2 weeks after the game last year. So it's early September last year. And I'll answer the phone from anybody, because you never know when it's going to be some coach or an athletic director, who likes what we do. And it was one of those calls. Thad Lepsio, he says, hey, I'm Thad Lepsio. I'm the new athletic director at Episcopal School of Dallas. I just watched the game on the live stream. And that Baylor school out of Tennessee, who was able to whip up on Seton Hall Prep, because I was the athletic director there for 8 years. And I got to see them playing, and it went, we want to come next year. I said, all right, we'll do that. We can set that up for you. So those are the kind you dream about from an organization, but it's 18 months in the planning, like I'm just making my list now of the schools I got to keep in contact with about next year while we're in Dublin. We'll send them information, send them clips, say, hey, we're here. You can be here next year. Come on over.
100%. And it's not just Ireland you do this. It's yours, not?
No, it's this particular event is just in Ireland, but I just got back 2 weeks ago from Japan. I took Laguna Beach High School out of California, south of LA. I took them over, 82 players and coaches, went to Tokyo and Kyoto. They're really, and all of them are cultural tours. That's kind of the basis of it. But football's the gathering point. Football brings the team together. And because they were out of season, we didn't play a real game, but we did 4 practices. And what we did is we invited the local team, one in Tokyo and one in Kyoto, to practice with Laguna Beach. And it was fun for everybody. They're out there running, the American coaches are coaching the Japanese kids. Konnichiwa, they got them out there. And the Japanese run hard. They train hard. They play hard. They're pretty good football. So that was a fun trip, that I just did a couple of weeks ago with high school kids. I brought the best Division III college team in America over the last 5 years. North Central College came over to Ireland with me in May, and we played a game against the Dublin Rebels, who had been the previous year's champions there.
They destroyed them.
Yep.
It was a friendly match. Let's put it that way.
Yes, it was a friendly match where the Dublin Rebels got destroyed.
Well,
and it kind of gives you the good part, and it's like a different level. I mean, these kids here, it would be like if you brought your best, Gaelic football junior club over,
100%,
and played against our guys who learned to play Gaelic football last week.
Yeah.
It'd be the same. It's the same analogy. So, we knew it wasn't going to be a fair game, but it was just it achieved what everybody wanted. Everybody got better. Everybody made some friends at the end. Now, everybody's got their phones out and they're checking everybody else's, text message, emails, Instagrams. It's awesome how they've made friends. And the quarterback for the Rebels, Ty in America,
Henry,
yeah. He said he's going to come be our PA announcer for the gift games.
Oh,
which would be
brilliant.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he'd be perfect for it. So he'll be on the microphone telling stories about what's going on in the field. Basically 3rd and 10 for IBM.
Oh, wow. So he's your commentator.
Yeah, he's going to help us out in the field. So I'm looking forward. In fact, I'm trying to reach him. If you're out there listening, I need to talk to you. Make sure we talk before game day.
Yeah, because Gizzy's forgot.
Yeah, it was later in the evening when we talked, but it was all right.
Yeah, you weren't drinking or anything, were you?
No. We were drawing up X's and O's.
Yes,
a Guinnesses.
Couple of Guinnesses, Best conversations start with a Guinness.
Talking training.
Yes, it has to be done. No, Ty's really good. He knows ball well, so that's a good shout to have him commentating the game. Like he was offensive coordinator and quarterback for the Rebels, so he's good to have on board.
Yeah, he'll be real good to have that. So we are going to stream the games for the people back in the States, especially, the people who don't get to go. Most of them are in school, they're missing classes, which doesn't harm their feelings too bad, but their kids at home their classmates will be able to watch the games at home. Of course, if you're going to watch the first one, you got to get started at 6 a.m.,
Oh yeah, that's right. These are well behind over there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're a little later in the day. But I'm looking forward. We did a couple events in Scotland this year. We did an event in Italy. So I like getting around and taking football to different places.
And do you think this Ireland stop's going to be an annual thing now, or is it just sort of happened the last 2 years that way? Or
no, it's going to be annual because the big college game, the organization that produces that, they've got, I don't know, a 5, 6, 7 year agreement with Tourism Ireland and Aer Lingus to sponsor it. So it'll keep going. Yeah, it'll keep. In fact, they've already announced I think it was the 27 game, either 26 or 27 is Wisconsin versus Pittsburgh. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
There's I was just on the website. There's a 2025 one confirmed as well.
25.
Is it? Did they confirm 25 as well?
Yeah,
Iowa
K-State,
Iowa State,
Iowa State.
Kansas State. Yeah, Iowa State and Kansas State.
So, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right. No, because I have friends in Kansas and I forgot that happened.
Yeah. So I'll be so that's why I got to keep finding high school teams and talking to coaches.
So you're stuck here for the next couple of years anyway.
Yeah, I'll keep coming back. You can't get rid of me, you know.
Well, you'll never hear complaints from us. We love watching football, so
Yeah.
Awesome. Plus, you know, and I'm too old to retire. So my buddies, I was back at Notre Dame last year for the USC game, which is always the big game for guys in my area, you know, Notre Dame SC.
Yeah.
And they had a big reunion for the 50th anniversary of the 73 national championship team, which was a huge game, a huge victory. We beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl to win the national championship. But I had graduated in 73, so I wasn't, you know, really part of the reunion thing. But all my buddies, guys like Ghost, Dave Casper, maybe the best tight end ever, was on that team and a real good friend of mine. And he goes, Steiny, he goes, I don't see your name on any of these lists. I went, no, Dave. I said, I was on the team before that, you know, in the 72, but he goes, nah, you got to come over and get your ass out of here. You tell better stories than people, you know? So, so that weekend I'm talking to everybody who's retired and living on the beach and doing all that. And they're like, why are you still working? I went, because I go and produce football games in Dublin, in Tokyo, in Glasgow, in Rome. I said, life doesn't suck, you know? It's why would I, if I stopped working, I could be dangerous. So
I think you told us the last time you were on that you tried to retire once, and the wife just basically says, "No, you're not good at this."
Yeah, that was COVID first, you know, because we couldn't travel anywhere. And after about 6 months, she goes, when can you start traveling again?
When are you getting out of here?
I feel very blessed to do what I do, and you know, go hang out with the Irish for the next 10 days. We'll be around. If anybody's like just wanting to talk football or so, we're staying at UCD. My staff and I just track us down. We'll talk football.
If you're looking at Guinness, we'll definitely meet up with you.
Yeah, let's do that somewhere.
100%.
If you want to come out, if you got a moment Sunday afternoon, come out for that clinic a little bit. It's 3 to 5. We'll be there right in front of the sports center on the turf field there.
Do you think if we were to shave, we could like get some tips and actually get some coaching, or?
Oh yeah,
young enough to do it.
Now, you guys don't know anything about the game, so we ought to coach you up a little bit.
100%. Yeah, we don't know nothing about it.
You know how to enjoy it, though. That's
the main thing, isn't it? Really, and we try to play, and I try to coach. Rob try to coach, but you know, we just like talking about it.
Well, I play a bit now too. So
now we could. You'd enjoy these guys I bring over. Like I said, these coaches. John Story's 84 years old. Dwight Thomas is 81, and they both act like they're 42. You know, they're awesome.
Right,
they're just
love that.
They're high energy, and if they get people in front of them that want to learn the game, they'll be down there. They'll be throwing forearms out. They'll be stepping over. And then Mike Creaney was my tight end at Notre Dame, an All-American. He'll be with us again. Country Joe Belitzos had a great career in college down in Tennessee. And I've got a guy, Mitch Osadchuk, that coming for the first time, who just stepped away from coaching because he wanted to travel more with me. Kind of wants to do what I do. So he's coming over for the first time to help me with an event. So we got some football knowledge. I can still throw the short one. I just can't. That deep dig doesn't have anything left.
No more Hail Marys.
No, no more Hail Marys. It's the old shorter shoulder feels some of those linebacker hit, you know.
Neil can't even throw the short one, so it's fine.
I have bad shoulders too, Patrick. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just from holding people up as a lineman for so long, you know, you've only got wee T-Rex arms, like.
Yeah, you had to take care of those linemen, right?
Yep.
I think you should tell Patrick the story of what happened on kickoff this season.
I'm not telling Patrick no story about kickoff. No.
I reckon probably in his extensive career, he's never heard of a story like this.
No, yeah. You'll not hear it, Patrick.
No.
No.
We'll tell you on Friday when we're down. Sure, we'll get a chat and we'll tell you then.
Trying to embarrass me in front of Patrick here, boys. That's not nice.
Yeah, I need to hear some stories. We really should get together. Like, I get there Saturday, but like Sunday and Monday are kind of our nights free. The teams show up on Wednesday, so actually Monday night's our night when I think we're gonna take my team out. The 9 of us are gonna go find a couple places. So
Nice.
give me a ring or a text or there's too many ways to connect now with people. It's like which one did I try you on? It's like
Exactly. Anyone. You know what I mean? We'll get you. You can get us on anyone. And we can get you on anyone.
I just find Talkin Balls, and you guys just find
We're here. Yeah.
Patrick,
Just fine talking balls.
global football guy. You know, that's pretty easy.
Patrick, the global football guy, the gift guy.
The gift guy. Yeah, that's good. But I'm going to be wandering around Dublin starting Saturday with some really good people, and then bringing these young men and their families over. They're excited. They'll be excited. They'll be all of a sudden. You know, can you imagine? You're like 17 years old, and you know you're playing in New Hampshire or in Florida or in Texas, and all of a sudden it's like we're going to go play in Dublin, Ireland this year, and it's not. You know, for the guys who are 22 years old playing for Florida State, it's a big deal for them too. But I think a kid who's 16 or 17, it's really big.
Yeah,
it's such a thrill for them. They'll be just like levitating. The coaches have to calm them down a little bit, you know, because they'll be running across so high. You want them excited, but you also want to be able to remember what you're doing. So,
100%.
I've talked to a lot of the coaches about that. That's a big part. And Tim McFarland, the guy who's coming over again, like he talks about it so well. Just a quick story about when Tim came over. We had 3 teams from Atlanta that year. We had Blessed Trinity and Marist, 2 Catholic schools, and Westminster. And Blessed Trinity had beaten both of them the season before, so they were the best team in Atlanta. They didn't want to play another Atlanta team in Ireland, right? They're traveling, 5,000 miles. So I had 2 teams from Florida, which were okay, but not of that level. And then I had St. Peter's Prep, a powerhouse out of New Jersey. So I talked to Tim and I said, Tim, look, you're the best team in Atlanta. Would you mind playing St. Peter's Prep? And he goes, well, I've heard of them. I don't know much about them, but yeah, sure, we'll play. He goes, we're going to be young, but we'll play anybody. So about a month later, he calls me one night and goes, hey, I've been looking at some of that film on St. Peter's Prep. He goes, they're legit. He goes, they got 2 brothers on defense that are committed to Notre Dame. I went, yeah, I heard they've got some pretty good players. I'm acting like, yeah, whatever, And he goes, well, I told you we'd play, so don't worry about it. So game day comes on. They're warming up. They were the last game of the day, so they're warming up over on the warm-up field, come over onto the main field when game 2 gets done. And both teams are warming up in the end zones, and he's doing that head coach walk where they kind of walk around, kick the pebbles, act like they're not really doing anything. The other coaches are doing stuff. They're just trying to think of what are we going to run our first plays. And Tim goes, hey, Pat. I said, yeah. He goes, hey, I got a question for you. I said, yeah, sure. He goes, if you looked at those guys from St. Peter's Prep, I went, what do you mean? He goes, those guys are massive. He goes, they all look like they could play in college right now. I went, yeah, they got some athletes, whatever. He goes, this may have been the dumbest decision of my life.
Fantastic.
I said, all right. He plays them. It was tie game at half. St. Peter's wore them out in the second half and won by 2 touchdowns. But what that did, and he said, our kids are going to grow up. They went back home, ran the table, won the state championship, won 3 straight state championships with that team. And his middle linebacker, a kid named J.D. Bertrand, went and started 5 years at Notre Dame. His other linebacker went and started at Ohio State for 3 years. So it's the Jimmies and the Joes are a big part of it,
Yep. I met J.D. Bertram in Dublin 2 years ago as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been over. He was still playing at Notre Dame then. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just got drafted in the 5th round by the Falcons now.
Yeah.
So it's I get excited about it, talking about it, because I'm surrounded in my office here. I got all of this stuff, I got all the stuff and this. It's like, football. Go.
Fair play to you, Patrick. No, it's great to see, buddy. It's awesome that you're bringing all this stuff over here for us. Like, I mean, we love anything to do with American football in Ireland, and it's just great to see that what you're doing over here. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. I hope we can keep expanding, keep getting more kids, loving the game, more folks like it. So happy to do it, and Ireland always treats me well. So
yeah, well, we try to treat everybody well. We're like that. We're them type of people.
Yeah, you're good. You're good folk like that.
So, yep. Well, guys, if anybody is looking tickets for this game, it's on the 23rd of August at Energy Park. And where can they get the tickets, Patrick?
They're online right now. We've gone through the Leinster Rugby because it's their field. We're using their website, so you could go through it that way, or you can go to our website, globalfootball.com, and there's a piece right there about gift 2024 tickets. It's pretty easy to find. Or just call me and no.
Just wait here, Patrick. Can you get us some tickets?
What are you swapping? They're only like I said, they're €20 for all the football you want. For adults. So bring kids 8 and under are free, and bring your family and just come enjoy. So that's the
plan.
We're
not bringing kids though. Leaving the kids at home. So we are.
All right. That's however you want.
But Patrick, thank you very much for coming on, buddy. It's very, very much appreciated, and thank you for everything you're doing here for the sport here in Ireland.
Awesome.
And,
you guys keep talking balls. You do it well.
Thanks very much. Yeah, we get that a lot. Cheers. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Talkin Balls.
Take care.
Thanks so much.